This video was digitized from a reel of silent Super 8mm film, and it's of U.S. Coast Guard cutter Lamar WTR-899. And she was commissioned in March of 1945 as USS Lamar and as a U.S. Navy PCE-842 class patrol boat. And you can see this film is, it's being filmed from a pleasure craft that's leaving Seattle, and there's the Seattle Space Needle. And the film said August 2nd, 1969, San Juan Islands. So they're going out on to cruise the San Juan Islands here. And as they're going out, they're going to pass by Lamar as she's moored up. And as I mentioned, she was commissioned in March of 1945 and saw action in the Pacific during World War II, primarily as a weather patrol boat. And there's Lamar right there in her Coast Guard paint scheme. Then she was decommissioned in December of 1945 and then recommissioned in December of 1960 as a Navy training vessel, and then decommissioned in May of 1964. She was recommissioned by the U.S. Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard took her and converted her at the Coast Guard Yard and commissioned her in September of 1965, and she was assigned as a reserve training vessel in Monterey, California, where she provided training for reservists from the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th Coast Guard districts. And her authorized complement was 39 officers and men, and she was equipped to carry 57 trainees. She was also available for limited search and rescue patrols if needed. And this was filmed in August 2nd, 1969, and she was eventually decommissioned on the 30th of December, 1969. This is just before she was decommissioned. And I'm not too sure where this was filmed at, or where she was moored at this time. If you know, please leave a comment. And what I had for her commanding officers while she was in Coast Guard service was Lieutenant Commander William T. Rockwell, Jr. from 11 September 1965 to 10 June 1967, and Lieutenant Commander Ernest Bisorio from 10 June 1967 to 30 September 1969. And I did come across a couple of slides of Lamar that I had acquired in a grouping of Coast Guard slides. And this first one is of Lamar in a 95-foot patrol boat, and that's the 95-foot in front, and then Lamar behind it in May of 1969 in Monterey Harbor, California. And then the next one is Lamar in Monterey, California in May 1969, and it said that the Coast Guardsman there was Jimmy Dean. And then this last one is Coast Guard cutter Lamar, and it said during a work day and in June of 1969, and that's Jimmy Dean again there in the foreground. And I hope you enjoyed this bit of Coast Guard and Navy history. And if you're interested in a good read, check out my books at www.edsemler.com.